Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with the director of Sweetland Amphitheatre, Becca Eiland. Becca, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, you know what, Becca, the Sweetland Amphitheatre, which is right outside of the studio here, is a beautiful venue that has been, just widely used by the community. And you're the individual that kind of makes sure that the concerts that we enjoy here continue to happen. Talk a little bit about your role, if you don't mind.
So as a director, I sort of oversee just about every aspect of Sweetland, but know behind every good leader, there's a team and an army behind me that supports me. So I have a manager, Loveland, who does a broad range of things, everything from our marketing and social media to our box office, and heads up, works with our volunteers. We have a director of volunteers, Dana Davis, who does a tremendous job with our fabulous volunteers that are 50 plus strong. And of course, Paul Cheplick, who is who keeps Sweetland as beautiful as it is on a day-to-day basis. So I kind of oversee the overall programming and making sure that we are continue to exceed expectations and utilizing that venue to its most, but I do it certainly with a lot of help. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's a beautiful location, and hopefully the viewing audience have been out more than once to see it. And we're going to talk about an event that's going on there now that everybody can get involved with. And let me just go ahead and jump into that because it's too exciting to talk about the ice skating rink. Talk a little bit about that, Becca, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So, so when we started to think, our first year was just really about figuring out programming and getting a summer out of the way. But then as we sat back heading into our second year, we realized that, again, this beautiful venue sits unutilized for a good portion of the year. And so how do we maximize that and leverage all the other exciting holiday things that are happening downtown? And so the idea came about, to put an ice rink basically in Sweetland, and so that's what we've done. We've partnered with a company called Ice Days Outdoor Skating Rink. They actually currently operate an ice rink in Conyers, downtown Conyers. So they have the experience, they have the know-how. They were looking to expand, and so they are the owners and operators of the ice rink. We provide the venue. And it's just been so incredibly well received. We're super, super excited. This is the first year, obviously, a lot of growing lessons like there always is. But it's been fantastic. And I think, for those of you who have been there and enjoyed it, I think you could attest to that. It's $10 to skate for 2 hours. That includes your skates. And if you've ever tried to skate for 2 hours, you'll know that that's more than your fair share, your money's worth of skating. They have concessions there, that are very affordable. Most everything's $1, a couple dollars, and they do that intentionally so it's an affordable night out for family. If you're not skating as a parent or a grandparent or a family or a friend, you can just go and watch, and that's free. We have a beer garden that's open up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. From 5 to close, that offers that element to parents and just family and friends to kind of make it a little bit more of a social atmosphere. But again, it's been tremendously well received, and we're super excited about it.
Absolutely. As we were talking before we came on the air, being this far south, we don't really get cold weather anymore.
Right.
And it just the thought of having an ice skating rink right here in our community where people can take advantage of, and it was kind of, I guess, nostalgic for one ice skating ice skater, Meredith Carpenter, that skated on the fountain back in 1970, I believe it was.
Correct, yeah.
And she was the first one. Talk about that as she came out that night to kind of open the season there for them. So
it's a great story that was told to me, and as we were brainstorming ideas about how to make that ribbon cutting extra special, somebody had suggested that she had told the story about, she was a teacher at LaGrange High School at the time, and she had actually she had a program that it was an exchange program where students from LaGrange High School went to Wisconsin and they learned how to skate. So it was really kind of an interesting story. And so we had a particularly cold winter that winter in January, and she saw that the puddles at what used to be the practice fields, which were at Sweetland, were frozen over. And so she took her skates out there and started kind of skating around there, and then had the idea that perhaps if this was frozen, the fountain would be frozen. Right. And as she tells the story, that, you know, on a teacher's schedule or a teacher's salary, she couldn't afford to be arrested. So she called the mayor and asked permission if she could skate on the fountain, and he granted her that. And so when she was down there, somebody had taken a picture of her, and it made the Associated Press, because it was a weather story about how cold it had gotten. And so that evening, for our ribbon cutting, we thought there was no one better to grace the ice for the first time than Murtis, because it's such a great story.
And, you know, a great story, and so, you know, again, it's so exciting to have it right here in our community, to have the public to be able to go out and understand. I think one of our associates here, his daughter has graced the ice quite frequently. I think.
Give a shout out to Becca. Becca McDowell. She is out there constantly, which I love, and they love the repeat. That's why it's affordable.
Right.
You know, it's a very family friendly run operation. And so they love the repeat. So Absolutely. Becca might get the most used
that's right,
most frequent pass.
Well, great, and of course everyone knows that Becca's the daughter of Keith McDowell, who works here at the station as well. And I know there's some events coming up there this month, and then leading over into next year. Talk about some of the things that you guys have planned for the Sweetland.
Absolutely. So we're excited to announce. We're going to announce this. This is, you know, live. You guys are getting the tip off of what this event is next Thursday. We haven't even formally announced this, but if you have noticed, we've got a beautiful tree that's in front of Sweetland, courtesy of December Place Farms. It's a 30-foot gorgeous tree, and so we're going to light that up next Thursday. So December 7th, December 7th at 6 p.m. We're going to have a tree lighting. And that's going to include some Christmas caroling and free hot chocolate. Santa will be there. The downtown elf will be there taking selfies with Elfie. And we're going to do $1 off skating coupons for the first 50 people that arrive there. So it'll be a great evening. It'll be short and sweet, 6 to 6:30, and then certainly invite folks to stick around and skate. But it'll be the first time that we'll light up the tree. And at that point, also excited to note, our tent should be in. So we will have a beautiful, huge tent that will go over the ice skating rink, which has been delayed, which is why it's not up there right now. But it'll add a whole different element to the ice skating rink. There'll be lights underneath it. And, so that'll be installed hopefully Monday and Tuesday of this coming week. And so it'll really kind of transform the area, and it'll be totally different from those people. And all our Christmas lights will be on. It'll be very festive.
Very good. Yeah. So that's December the 7th at 6 o'clock, the tree lighting. Come out to the event. It's free to the public, right? And there'll be a selfie with Elfie and some other things going on. You know, talking about the tent over the ice rink, I wanted to ask the question when we were talking about the skating rink. Becca and I, we were talking before we came on. Talking about the weather here, you know, even today while we're taping, it's going to be about 70 degrees. And I know, how in the world would it keep the ice frozen for people to be able to skate there? Yeah,
I mean, it's a great question, and it's certainly been a challenge up until now without the tent, which is why we've invested in that tent, and going forward, that certainly won't be a problem. But I mean, it's real ice, and I think a lot of people always ask that about our skating rink, and it's a 5,800 square foot ice skating rink. And it is the real deal. It's 3 inches of solid ice that's on there. This is a process that takes 3 days to build, or it takes 7 days to build, 10 days to build. But to make the ice, it takes 3 solid days. There's a chiller that folks will notice that's out there that feeds like a liquid formula called glycol, and it goes under these tentacles that basically span the entire length of the ice skating rink. And as they built it, every night they'd put a layer of water, let it freeze, another layer of water until they got to that 3 inches. But it's the real deal. It's real ice. So it definitely gives us Southerners a taste of the northern pastime. Absolutely. With all the events that have taken place there at the Sweetland, Becca, I know it's important to you to get feedback from the community and how you guys are doing. Whether they enjoy the concerts. I've been to a number of concerts there and thoroughly enjoyed. We were talking. The weather has just been absolutely gorgeous each time that I've been there. That's right. Talk a little bit about the surveys and feedback that you get from concert goers. Right. I mean, so every year we did this the first year and shared those results with folks because I think that's very important. I mean, people take the time to fill out this this survey. We sent it out to almost 6,000 people of ticket holders, subscribers to our e-newsletter, and got nearly 800 responses, which in the survey world, for those that know, is unprecedented. So we recognize that our patrons are invested in Sweetland. We hear what they say. There's a number of things that, we take all that feedback into consideration, and some of the things we can change and tweak as we go forward. Some of the things are a little bit out of our control, but we're working on the compilation of what those results are and are going to share that with those that invested. But it's interesting things that 80% of the people, for instance, who come down, because one of the questions is, do you frequent downtown restaurants and retail environments when you're here? And close to 80% of the people say when they come to a concert, of those that responded, are taking part in enjoying what our downtown has to offer. And so it's a lot of great feedback, and we take it to heart for sure.
Very good. Any concerts that you can talk about, or series of things coming up next year that you can share with us at this time?
I can't share specifics, but it's exciting. This time, our downtime is when we start planning. Obviously, we started in September for planning for next year. And so we have locked in a couple of them. We hope to announce our lineup, the end of February, beginning of March, if not sooner. We've got, our first year we did 5 major concerts. Last year we did 7. And this year we're hoping to bump that up even more. So, somewhere between 8 and 9 concerts. So 5 within the series, and then maybe 3 or 4 one-offs. So that'll be a great year.
Well, very good. And again, it's such a beautiful venue, and I'm glad to see it being put to use and everybody taking advantage of it. And let me just ask this question as we get ready to close out. And you're talking about downtown vendors. I know that a number of the downtown vendors are located there at Sweetland during concert series, but you do still have opportunities for picnic concerts. Talk about that if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, again, when we looked at, what our calendar looks like, who we're trying to service and attract, and, I mean, there's, all different types of concerts that you can attend, and some of those allow you to bring different items in, and those are what we call our picnic approved events. A lot of those are free and open to the community. And then we've got our our major concerts where we provide vendors who provide those foods, and those are Kimball's is a great partner of ours. In terms of our concession stand, we also rely on a lot of local restaurants, as you mentioned. 505 Eats, Splendid Events, Mighty Joe's is there, Holloway Pork Rinds. So really trying to give our local businesses the opportunity to to have exposure. And
well, very good. Well, Becca, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing all this wonderful information about our Sweetland Amphitheatre. And I know that the community will continue to come out and also fill out the survey. So that's important for us to know what people like and what they like to see come there. And I'm sure you would take that to heart, as you said earlier in the conversation. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week in just a moment.